Hi guys, Yuliya here. So today I will be working on this woodland area that I have in the garden. So I have some things that are blooming there right now that I really like. So I actually bought some more of the same plant or the variety of the same plant to add to the area. And sometimes that's exactly what happens. You have something blooming in your garden, you really like it, and you want to expand your collection. So yeah, why not? So let me show you the lay of the land, so to speak, and then I'll show you what I will be planting. So this used to be all grass here, and pardon the dogs, I'm dog sitting today. Anyway, this is a little brick path that is going to the water source. Then I have these wooden paths that are partially aesthetic and partially like functional for the dogs to run around. And then all the rest of the areas are interplanted with woodland plantings, both natives and ornamental. I do have two large trees in this area. This is a pin oak, and then there's a Norway maple. Terrible, terrible tree. Never plant Norway maples in your garden. So the path leads to the vegetable garden through that arbor, and then actually loops around here and comes out on the other side. I have a bunch of things blooming here right now, and peonies just finished blooming here. But the star of the show for sure is the Astilbe. So let me talk about the Astilbe a little bit. So Astilbe is a herbaceous perennial that dies all the way to the ground in the winter, and they are hardy to zone 3, which is really hardy. That's a really hardy plant to grow. They are very heavy shade tolerant, and there are very few plants that you can find that are heavy shade tolerant. And by heavy shade, I don't mean like put them in a dark room and never let the light in. By heavy shade, I mean shade with no sun, so not even for 10 minutes. If you have trees or it's a northern side of your house, Astilbe is a wonderful plant to grow. There's so few plants that you can find that bloom beautifully and tolerate heavy shade, and it's just one of them. And they are deer resistant. You know, I battle deer almost every day in my area, and it's huge to find a plant that is deer resistant, and they're also rabbit resistant. And another fact about them, they are one of those rare plants that can grow under black walnut. If you have black walnut in your garden, you know they produce toxins that kill any plant that grow in their drip line. So, but not Astilbe. Astilbe can tolerate that, I believe it's called juglans, that black walnuts produce. So this just wonderful plant all around. They, again, like shade, too heavy shade, they will scorch and crinkle in the sun. So definitely shade garden plant. They like moist and humusy soils. I actually have a drip irrigation in this area because if you don't water them for a while, if we haven't had rain for a while, they will crinkle. But other than that, it's a very easy to grow perennial. So I'm actually going to be adding some more because I've been so successful with them and they're so easy to grow. So I have some patches over here, and I just got these beautiful Visions in White Astilbe. Aren't they so gorgeous? So I'm going to be adding them in this composition here. So I actually have a couple of plants here that kind of have similar flower structure. So I will show you the plants now, and I will explain kind of the logistics behind this whole area. So I will be putting the Visions in White Astilbe on this side because I have some Astilbe on this side. But I also will be playing off this plant right there, which is not an Astilbe, like a lot of people think when they come to my garden. I understand the confusion. They actually look almost identical to Astilbe. You can see the leaves are very much alike, and the flowers kind of look like Astilbe, but it is not Astilbe. It is goat's beard, or Aruncus dioecious. and it's a wonderful native plant to northern United States. Huge pollinator, really great plant for woodland gardens or like the edge of the woods, or if you live in the northern states you can even plant it out in the sun. It requires moist soils just like Astilbe, and very similar in culture with Astilbe. So Aruncus dioecious means that you need a male and female to produce fruit or seeds on this plant. I'm not sure what I have, if it's a boy or a girl, a mixture. I have 3 plants here. They grow up to 5 to 6 feet tall. So this is a very young plant. This is about 2 years old, and they're slow to establish, but once they establish, they provide an amazing structure in your garden. But you know how I feel about natives. I absolutely love planting natives. But if I have some plant nerds in my garden, I kind of ask them a question like, what do you think about this plant? And the really educated plant nerds know that's not Astilbe. But you see how I'm playing off the visions in white and the goat's beard. I think that's going to be really cool. Since we are on the subject of natives, I just wanted to show you this wonderful native that I have here. This is a Penstemon digitalis, and that variety, the white ones that I have here all around, are just a straight up variety of native plant. This one right here that has little pink flowers is a Husker Red, Penstemon digitalis. Both varieties are incredible pollinators. It's a little windy right now, so the bees are not out, but the bees were out here all morning pollinating this beautiful plant. And this area does have a lot of natives that I planted, so I'm actually may plant some more. This one is still in the pot, but I'm going to go ahead and plant these gorgeous vision in white Astilbe now. So they're all planted and it looks so nice. I think that's exactly what I needed in that spot to kind of balance out things. So I'm actually thinking maybe adding a couple of more maybe this fall or next spring, and that's how it happens. You have that perennial that does really well in certain areas, so you just keep adding different varieties or cultivars. I'm actually going to show you some more Astilbe that I have in my garden now. I'm sorry guys, I don't know any of these varieties. I planted these a while ago before my record keeping times, but these are so pretty. Look at the color. And these are actually quite tall. They just started to bloom. There's some over there on that side. And how about these? Aren't these just beautiful? These are so fluffy. They are much shorter than the other types, but they are just full of flowers. Look at this. So this is my shady area in the front. You can see some more Astilbe over there, Hakinakloa, some bleeding hearts, and they go really well with all of those plants. So this is it for today, guys. I love how this area is shaping up. I'm definitely going to be adding more Astilbe to this area, and definitely some natives as well, maybe this fall or next spring. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I post a lot of photos, kind of an interim between the videos, so this way you can kind of follow the garden and its blooms and to see what's blooming on a certain week or certain date. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, post them in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.